Okay, you're good. We're live.
Oh, we're live?
Yep.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is the Otaku Battle Dome here, and today we're going to debate Hunter x Hunter versus Yu Yu Hakusho from a writing standpoint. Which one is better? Now, I'm pretty sure we all have our favorites, our own opinions about it. If some of you guys aren't really familiar with, like, I guess the connection between Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho, they're both made by the same creator, was it Yoshihiro? Yoshihiro
Togashi
Togashi.
Yoshihiro.
Yeah,
The
Togashi
author.
Yoshihiro. So I don't know. Starting with Luffy, what do you think? Which one do you think is the better story, or better from writing standpoint?
From a writing standpoint, I would say Hunter x Hunter. I feel like the arcs flow a lot better, even in transition, compared to Yu Yu Hakusho's. I think the thing that Yu Yu Hakusho has over Hunter x Hunter is the characters in terms of character development. Since we don't have that much with like Leorio, we've got some with Kurapika, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go with just Hunter x Hunter.
Okay, Rick, what do you think?
Overall, I think Hunter x Hunter. Again, I think the characters in Yu Yu Hakusho are better, but the overall story, the flow, the world building, the battle system are there's a lot more work and a lot more care into it than he did with Yu Yu Hakusho.
Bankai?
I have to agree with Luffy. Yeah, I would say Hunter x Hunter as well. I mean, as far as story is concerned, I mean, when you look at it, both are similar in certain aspects, but I prefer Hunter x Hunter because of how oriented each part of the story is and how further they go in with it, and so on and so forth, over Yu Yu Hakusho. So, yeah.
All right, King of Lightning.
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna say. I think that Yu Yu Hakusho is better written, but Hunter x Hunter isn't done yet. I think Hunter x Hunter has the potential to actually be better written than Yu Yu Hakusho does when the series is over, and then that's I think a very key thing to understand. Yu Yu Hakusho, the characters are already said and done. I've yet to see a characterization on the same level as Shinobu Sensui or Toguro in Hunter. Though granted, Hunter x Hunter does have, I think, better world building because you have more to explore. I think a lot of cases when it came to Demon World, they could have done a lot better job when it came to exploring Demon World. Truly. But the villains in Hunter, the villains in Yu Yu Hakusho, I think, are overall more their characterization overall is better character. Yeah, they have better characterization. Most characters in Yu Yu Hakusho have better characterization. But at the same time, we just got to the point where, and I don't want to spoil it. Well, no, wait, you guys already know about this, probably. The new world, the Dark Continent. That's going to be huge when it comes to Gin's characterization, and Parison probably, and maybe even Kurapika too. But Leorio is stunted heavy, and then that's a problem because Leorio is a character he's a main character, and his characterization is lacking compared to the other three. In particular, it's just Killua and Gon have good characterization. The world building again is better in Hunter x Hunter, but it's not like that much. It's okay. It is better, but I don't think it's that much better. Like when it came to the world of Yu Yu Hakusho, you did have certain like areas which were explored to a certain degree, but not as well as like for example, you have the Dark Tournament, which the area in itself was not really quintessential to exploring, unless you had the tournament itself, the Colosseums themselves. But in Hunter x Hunter, it's more about the adventure. So let me just so in that sense, because there is an adventure aspect to Hunter x Hunter, it has better world building. But I think the characterization is like the key factor here. You need good characterization in order to have like a pretty damn good story in a lot of cases when it comes to Togashi's work. That appears to be. So characterization, because he has characterization that's very good in both series, I think it's a matter of which years has better characterization. Therefore, I'll probably go with the Yu Yu Hakusho on that one. So Yu Yu Hakusho currently, I think, is better written because it has better characterization, better villains. I think it's a lot deeper, a lot darker in a lot of cases. But overall, I would go with Hunter x Hunter for the future.
Mm.
And see, it's kind of hard for me to be able to actually make this decision because I agree with you on the characterization standpoint. But there's one thing I do like about Hunter x Hunter is the power system. I felt like Togashi thought a lot into the power system as far as the inner workings of how Nen works and how they have different categories for that, as opposed to in Yu Yu Hakusho you think about you had the spirit energy, but there really wasn't that much to it, at least in my opinion. You had spirit energy, you had demon energy, and I remember actually.
Sacred energy.
I'm sorry.
You had 3 variants. You had spirit energy, you had demon energy,
sacred energy.
Sacred energy. That was introduced into the story from Shinobu Sensui.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, you had basic elements, but again, here's the reason why I think it's to say for the future. The aspects of the power system of Hunter x Hunter have yet to be fully explored. In Yu Yu Hakusho, they're already fully explored. They're already done.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But I think even now, Nen I think is even now. There's still a lot more you can do with it. Even as of now, it's probably one of the best battle systems and most creative battle systems in most shonens, and that includes Yu Yu Hakusho because it's so simplistic yet so complicated at the same time. It's simplistic in the sense that everyone has their own category you fall into, but the complication is first off the fact you can pretty much make your own special ability within that category, and the fact that depending on your prowess, you can intersect with other categories to make different unique abilities to that said category. And then you can put restrictions on your name and whatnot. So it's a very simplistic complex, but it's a very complex system at the same time. And not many battle systems have that.
But the same thing applies for Yu Yu Hakusho. I mean, granted,
Yu Yu Hakusho is just a more elaborate version of Dragon Ball Z's battle system.
But you have, in essence, when it came to so when it came to Sacred Energy, there's only one version of Sacred Energy that we saw, Shinobu Sensui.
Right.
That energy, he could formulate different types of battle armors. But Demon Energy has no set power either. Demon Energy has different variants and different ways of using Demon Energy, different ways of manipulating Demon Energy. And also, it's the ecstasy part of Demon Energy, which is one of the key factors why Toguro chose to be a demon in the first place. Which is why he kept on being a demon in the first place. Because when you fight, or at least that's what Genkai theorized, when you fight using demon energy, you get a level of ecstasy, a level of joy from that, which you don't get from using basic spirit energy. And then you have spirit energy in and of itself, which also has various types of variants. That you had Shinobu Sensui's boys, which could use spirit energy in a whole host of different fashions, from the Game Master to Kuwabara's sword to the kid with the sea powers, Seaman, Seamaster, whatever his name is. Seaman. So then, even then, with spirit energy, you had also variants of territory manipulation as well. So that also expanded and grew. And then you had people like Yusuke who were unique, where they could combine spirit energy and demon energy. In the fight against Yomi, he utilized both variants at the same time in order to surpass Yomi's demon absorption barrier. And then he made his own version of Sacred Energy at the end of that too. So the thing here is that yes, when it comes to Hunter x Hunter's battle system, I think it's depicted better, but because it's not completed, I can't fully gauge what the confounds of the battle system will be later on in the story. When Yu Yu Hakusho, we've already seen a whole slew of powers from just demon energy and spirit energy alone. And
I don't feel like it has to have been completed yet. Like when you look at what's already been introduced, I feel like it's already kind of went above Yu Yu Hakusho in that area in terms of the power system.
No, I mean, King has reminded me of some of the things. It's been a minute since I watched Yu Yu Hakusho. But at the same time, I still do then I find extremely fascinating because of the intricacy it can have. And the things that people can do with it, especially when you know how to put restrictions on your men and whatnot.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Look at
I'm just saying that there's so much more with it to learn because there's an entire new fucking. There's a place far bigger than their original world to explore, which probably means that there are more Nen variants or more Nen usages that actually may even conflict with the current power scheme of Nen. So to say that okay, well, Nen is at this point in time a better system, I think to me is a little bit odd because the system in of itself is incomplete.
Hold on, Luffy fell out of the call, I think.
Yeah, he
Where
did.
the fuck is Luffy?
He just fell out.
We got 5 minutes, or we're off air.
Yeah, 5
We're
minutes.
off air.
No, I said we got 5 minutes until we're off air.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck indeed.
My biggest thing though that like because this is an extremely hard question.
No, wait. So we're live, but we're not live.
We are live right now.
Still.
But if you don't come back in like 4 minutes, we're done.
Huh.
Yeah, we're done.
No, because like on their side, doesn't it say some shit like fuck it, I don't know. Let me see this shit.
I might text him just in case he doesn't know he's freaking off.
All right, fuck it. Okay, all right, Rick, say what you were saying. Fuck it, go.
Now I was gonna, like Yu Yu Hakusho really is one of those quintessential anime mangas you have to read or watch. So I don't want I love Yu Yu Hakusho, but I think that the one thing I think Hunter x Hunter has, I think Yu Yu Hakusho has a far better start than Hunter x Hunter. But Hunter x Hunter has a better flow and transition from arc to arc, from story to story, than Yu Yu Hakusho does. Is in that case.
I would agree only if I would agree if it wasn't for the fact that you have the majority.
Hold on to some of these thoughts, and for when we go back.
Okay, but here's the thing though. For the majority of the story, the flow of the entire story focuses on Gon and Killua, mainly Gon and Killua.
Yeah.
Their relationship between Gon and Killua and their experiences, and then you have other supporting characters come in there to basically assist them in their endeavors and their journeys. And Togashi shafts the other two, Kurapika and Leorio, for a vast period of time, for the majority of the entirety of the series thus far. In fact, it's only until now Kirby is actually getting some more shine, including Leorio as well. And in Yu Yu Hakusho, well, fuck. In Yu Yu Hakusho, that's not the case. In fact, the only time Kuwabara gets shafted is when they go into the end, when they go into the Three Kings. But even then, Kuwabara has characterization where he's actually in high school and he's going to college and he's studying and he is actually trying to become a decent person, where initially he was just a middle school punk. So even when the characterization of Kuwabara is seemingly shafted, it's actually done off screen. It's actually done fairly well. For Kurapika or for Leorio, you can't even say that because Leorio, nothing.
Leorio doesn't get no shine until the election.
We're back.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's the one. I think that's the major flaw is that I don't think. Obviously, this is Gon's story up until this point, but Togashi could have done a much better job of balancing the character shine of each character throughout the entire series.
Mm-hmm.
That's where
I actually like the way he's done it
throughout the series.
Because
I don't like it too, but at the same time, looking at it critically, you have to take that into account, especially when you're judging a series of what is better. And I would think Yu Yu Hakusho, again, it has a total advantage over Hunter x Hunter when it comes to character development and balancing characters' shine.
Mm-hmm.
Making characters prominent.
And then again, like that's the reason why I say like the reason why it flows so much better is because
I think Yu Yu Hakusho had better shock value.
The reason why Hunter x Hunter seemingly flows better is because you only have to focus on Gon and Killua for the vast majority of the story. I mean, Greed Island is the quintessential example. Greed Island is a pretty nice flowing arc, but you support characters that come in there, like the guy who controls the apes. You have the guy who had like the ability to like he could jump really high, but he was some kind of like well-known hunter. I forgot his name. The Thai, name of the T. I forgot his name.
Every arc in Hunter x Hunter has like a arc cast per se, where you have these characters that are prominent in that said arc.
Right.
Along with Gon and Killua.
But when it comes to Yu Hakusho, the villains if you want to call them that cast, okay, fine. But mainly, it's just the main dudes. You have Hiei, you have Yusuke, you have Kuwabara, and you have Kurama. And then you have some support characters come in there, Genkai. Then you have Botan. Then you have, I forgot her name, the girl who controls ice, Yukina. Then you have Yusuke's girl, I forgot her name too.
Keiko.
Keiko. Right. So then you have you have your cast, and it's mainly just seeing the cast as they all transverse throughout the entirety of the story and have their endeavors and have their relationships and so on and so forth. I mean, even in that aspect alone, the characterization of Yusuke and Keiko is better than most characterization in Hunter x Hunter. But just between the two alone, let alone individual characterization. So, again, and then plus, again, you have fucking Shinobu Sensui. It's like, dude, he's standing alone in Shonen. Like, the fuck? Like, he's one of the best.
It's also time, also, because I know Togashi. I think Togashi said in an interview that he was going to do another arc, but because he was sick, he had to end it. He had to end the Three Kings arc and then just end the manga.
I don't know. I'm not aware of that. Maybe. Who knows?
I've heard multiple stories about how he wanted to end Hunter.
He wanted to do another arc. I think that arc was going to include Koenma's father.
There's even an ending where he wanted. There was one ending he actually wanted to make it to where the whole entire series was a lie. It was just a TV show, and Yusuke and all of them were actors.
Oh, that would have been so trolling.
That would have been trolling.
Wait a minute.
Whoa.
There were some people who thought that was going to happen to Naruto.
I mean, that would have pissed me off. That's how you got killed, man.
No, because something very similar happens to in 666 the Seishi.
Oh, yeah, at the end.
Yeah, at the end, yeah.
I don't know how to feel about that ending, though, to be honest.
You know, the ending, it mixed feelings on that one. Like, it wasn't like trollish, but it was like, huh, like that's really what?
Right.
What?
Like, that's how it's supposed to be. Huh?
Like it takes you aback. In a good way, though. But getting back to on topic here. So my thing here is that when it comes to world building, I would give Hunter x Hunter the edge, obviously. But when it comes to the battle system in of itself, I would say for the future, absolutely. But because the system in of itself is incomplete, I can't truly gauge a system if that is compared to a complete system. The combat
system already
system
surpassed it in its incomplete stage. How can you say that you can't get
because there could be discrepancies that appear later on that could actually burden the system of Hunter x Hunter combat system.
Well, we're talking about as of right now from a writing standpoint.
As of right now, again, because the combat system of Yu Yu Hakusho is complete, because it's all ground instead of stone, and we know how things operate with the vast majority of the auras and their differences and their usages and how people can manipulate. You know, you have psychic powers, territory manipulation, you have mind control, you have ability manipulation, you have certain degrees of reality warping with spirit energy alone. Then we get a whole demon energy, which has a whole slew of shit, which I won't even get into right now. And then you have sacred energy, which is limited, stunted, but it is the pinnacle of energy, where in which it is something that apparently can, like, supposedly, like, destroy the fucking world. Whatever. So, the point here is that I think because the system is so well grounded, yes, it's more complex in Hunter x Hunter, but because it's so firmly well grounded in Yu Yu Hakusho, I gotta give it the edge. It's like asking me, okay, well, would you rather have a house that has all these rooms and all these floors, has a lot of these complex, doorways, but it's not fully finished, or do you want to have a house that has, its set foundation already, and it's completed, and this is what you're gonna get, like, everything, like, there's no hidden tricks, like, this is what it is. I'll go with the latter. I'll be very honest with you. What the fuck?
That's true.
All right, so I think the only last thing we have left to do then is let's base this on arcs. Let's take the best arc of Yu Yu Hakusho, and let's take the best arc of Hunter x Hunter and compare it to.
Before we get into that, one thing I thought about too is let's compare tournament arcs, because honestly, I feel like Yu Yu Hakusho's tournament arc is better than the Heaven's Arena.
Oh,
Well,
absolutely,
of
absolutely.
course.
The Dark Tournament
We're
is
doing
one of
debates,
probably the best Dark Tournament arc in all of Shonen, in my opinion. I can't think of a better one.
I've never
Does
seen
everybody
it.
agree with that?
I mean, I've seen DBZ tenfold, man, and I still think you have to show
yeah,
show our kids.
Yeah.
I'd probably say was the Dark Tournament. Because like there's very little. The only tournament arcs in Hunter x Hunter is the very first one, which a lot of people don't want to talk about, and then there's the other one, which is the Heavens arc.
In a way, too, Heaven's Arena is. It's hard to really call it a tournament arc because the real focus is the training and introduction of men in that arc. So in essence, it's kind of a training arc.
Yeah.
If you really think about it. I mean, the tournament was part of the training.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I suppose, but I don't know. I mean, I think it's expected that you see characters make a growth in a tournament arc. I mean, usually that's what always happens. You know, I mean, in Yu Yu Hakusho, I mean, I think Yusuke came out stronger after the tournament because he had those cuffs on, those spirit cuffs. You know, so he came out stronger after the dark tournament than he went in. You know, coming into the dark. So I mean, I think that's expected.
Okay, well, now I'm starting to remember. I mean, and I don't know why I'm forgetting because maybe because I'm like doing this shit right now. But I mean, there is the characterization of Mirim and Komagi, right? Which actually is fantastic. Honestly, it's the best characterization hands down in Hunter x Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
But even still, I wouldn't. I mean, it's fantastic. It's wonderful. I love it. But I wouldn't put it on Sensui level. I just wouldn't. Sensui is, again, I think he's standalone in characterization. However, what I will say is that if you're going to compare arcs that are like the best arcs, and first of all, it depends on what you perceive to be the best arc in each series.
I was going to ask you, what do you guys think is the best arc for each series? I would say Chapter Black and Chimera Ant.
Chimera.
For me, it's Chimera and Hunter x Hunter, but
Chapter Black.
Yu Yu Hakusho, I have mixed feelings because the Dark Tournament and Chapter Black are, I think, equally good arcs. Though the characterization of Sensui is better, it's the way things played out in the Dark Tournament with Toguro, which I find absolutely phenomenal.
Well, both in what do you call it, Chapter Black, and in what's the name of that Chimera Ant arc, you have these big transformation scenes. I guess you could say that add a lot of shock value. So I think that's also a crucial factor in there as well. Like,
so Yusuke going Mazaku and Gon going like just older Gon, just muscling up.
Mm-hmm.
Large.
He's gonna kill himself again.
Gon basically losing his mind, and then Yusuke dying.
I don't see that happening, but.
Well, I mean, because okay, here's the thing. Because I know that. Because for me, I honestly did prefer the Gon transformation scene a lot better because in that particular scene, the emotions, there was a lot.
It flowed more, to be honest.
And there was a lot more. I wouldn't say passion because when it came to Yusuke's moment, it was like you had the freaking Yusuke sacrificing his life to help Kuwabara and company get the fuck out of the pocket dimension that they were in. And then you have Kuwabara there, he's fucking crying his ass off. You have Hiei, and you have Kurama. They're going to go chase down Sensui. They opened the fucking portal of damn Demon World. They said, fuck it. I don't even care if the demons start flooding into Human World. Fuck it. We're just going to kill Sensui. We don't give a damn anymore. And then you had the elite members of, I forgot his name, Kuima's father. Shit.
Or special defense or something, I don't know.
Yeah, like the special defense force come in there, and they have their grievances and then their differences. So both scenes had insane emotion playing out. I mean, honestly, the reason why I just put Gon's over Yusuke is because Gon's is more recent. I mean, because I can't recall my exact emotions back when I first saw that in Yu Yu Hakusho.
Could you say with
recall
Yusuke?
what I felt when Gon recently did his shit, and it was fucking insane.
I look at it like, if you go back though, when the thing about Gon though, I go back all the way to when he first came face to face with Pito, and how Pito was like, you know what, I'll fight you, just let me finish what I'm doing, and Gon is like, no, you about to get this right now, I don't care, And that was a huge thing for Gon. We never thought, because Kamugi, for all intents and purposes, is an innocent bystander. And Pito doing this, helping an innocent human, he doesn't know about Miriam and why she's doing anything, but he doesn't care. That's how much his rage starts to take over, to where you see his aura go black. And that's like catalyst for how it progresses to the transformation, of how he just lets it all out.
That's the biggest character shift you actually see in Gon, too.
That's actually very
like that change a main shonen protagonist that much, especially Gon, who is very, very childlike, you know, in his innocence at least.
Well,
yeah. So you do make good points. Yeah, because I'm starting to remember now. Yeah, because
at the same time,
that was one of like the biggest things. The fact that you have Gon, who at the beginning of the arc earnestly believed that Kite's alive. He's full of hope and ambition, and then he sees Kite. Nah, Kite's the first thing from alive. And then it's like, shit, like, I was wrong. And then you have Pito, who he thought that was like a fucking demon. Now he's actually helping someone. Yeah, so because I'm starting to remember now. For Gon's case, it was like not dozens, but like, several episodes of build-up before you got to that final punch. Where in Yusuke's case, it was sad, it was, emotional, but it was more like abrupt. And the arc in of itself was actually shorter in comparison to the Chimerian arc. So you didn't get that much of a build-up. Though I would say when it comes to that initially, the whole thing there, I think, that was fascinating. Because when I think about it, from that standpoint alone, I would give it a go. But I am starting to remember here that when it came to Yusuke, you do have the whole conflict of spirit detectives, because you have someone who was first a spirit detective like Shinobu Sensui, who winds up betraying the cause, and the reason why he does so is because he sees the atrocities of both of humans upon demons, where his entire life it was the reverse. He believed that everything was black and white. Demons were evil, humans are to be protected, and it was Kawima who trained him in that notion. But when he sees humans torturing demons for their pleasure, and then he snaps, and then he creates these alternate psyches in order to cope with this particular trauma, where and in Gon's case, okay, because now I'm not comparing main characters here, but in Gon's case, it was a gradual change, and in Sensui's case, it was an abrupt snap. It was like an abrupt change where his world perspective just flipped in an instant, and the trauma created these 7 personalities in order to cope with that, which in of itself is phenomenal. But when it comes to Yusuke, particularly for that particular arc, Yusuke, he never really tried to truly understand the emotions of Shinobu Sensui. It was more so, this is my mission, this is what I gotta do. You're my fucking way, you're gonna try and destroy the... Because, I mean, yeah, like...
But that's kind of Yusuke's character, though.
Yeah, exactly, like, that's Yusuke's character. Because, I mean, Shinobu was threatening the entire world. Like, the Chimera Ants, you could argue whether or not they actually would have been able to, successfully take over the world. I doubt it. I doubt it considering the fact that
we don't know now, but they were tearing shit up. Like they were getting out of hand.
Right.
To the point where I don't even know why they let Kite live. Being a Chimera Ant queen.
Exactly. Yeah. They were tearing shit up. But the thing here is that one of the key components of the Chimerian arc was the atrocities of humanity, where you have Chairman Otero, like, don't underestimate humanity's cruelty before he kills himself, or like before he dies, and then he activates the miniature rose, and so Miriam survives that explosion through the help of his, royal guard, but the poison's there anyway. He winds up dying later on. So we don't know. So odds are is that if humanity got together and decided to nuke the fucking palace where the Chimera Ant King was, where Miriam was, they would have fucking won anyway. So the technology advancements of humanity may have overcome the Chimera Ants themselves and their prowess and power. But when it came to Yu Hakusho, there was no overcoming a fucking horde of demons that was coming from Demon World. It was over.
But that's the complexity.
The A-class demons. What?
That's the complexity of the Chimera Ant arc, is though it ties into the greed and whatnot of humans, because Netero let this shit get out of hand just for his own amusement. That's kind of like the complex part of the Chimera Ant, is that yes, you're right. The humans actually, Netero and all them, they could have shut this shit down before it got to the level it did, but Netero wanted that last hurrah. he let it get to that level, which ties into the dark desires of humans because Notaro wanted to amuse himself.
That's true.
Which I think puts a complex perspective on the Chimera Ant arc.
That's true. I agree with that. But at the same time, I don't think the stakes were as high. Because
it was the world was at stake with Yu Yu Hakusho, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, Togor was a freaking B-class demon. Like, I mean, hyped up one S-class demon would wipe out entire fucking civilizations. You had hordes of S-classes waiting. Hordes. Like, fuck it, let us in. The human world was literally at stake. Had not Yusuke and Kobe have done what they've done. And even though they still knew that, you had Hiei, you had Kurama, you had Kuwabara say, fuck it. It doesn't matter. Fuck the world. At this point in time, it's our revenge against Shinobu Sensui for killing our friend. Fuck the world. And the fact that Shinobu, he went to Demon World not even to fight, not even to control, just to fucking die because he had an illness anyway. And the fact that these people were, in essence, playing with the world, playing with human world, just to try and release their grievances and their issues, to solve them, to finally wrap them all up, I think is amazing.
Would you argue that Yusuke's power up with the Mazaku was an ass pull compared to like Gon's power
I guess
up?
that kind of was.
Gon's power up, you learned about Nen and like the restrictions of it and the consequences of it and everything.
Yeah,
like that. With Yusuke's, it came out of nowhere and it was just spontaneous and it was like, what the fuck? He's a demon.
I mean, you can say it's somewhat foreshadowed in the sense of what the
thing about Yusuke
represented, but
Gon's is more justified at that moment, but Yusuke's comes more to light in the last arc. It's kind of the setup, the gateway into the Three Kings arc.
Yeah.
At the time, it's an ass-pull, you're right, but when you learn about it more in his lineage, it makes more sense, and I think it mitigates the ass-pull aspect.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, again, like, that's the reason why
it expanded
you had that whole build-up, because the Nen power system allows for certain extremities to occur based on restrictions and covenants and that kind of shit. So in the sense of Gon's power, it made sense. Yusuke didn't have really any hints about his Mozoku lineage. And when it happened, it was what the fuck, like, really? But then later on, you find out the details of that, and then it starts to build upon there. So, yeah, Rick is right in that case. So, like, because Gon, after he did that power-up, he had every intention of dying, but he didn't die, obviously. Yeah. And then that spurs into one of the many parts of the I guess if we'll call it the election arc, or the post-Chimera Ant arc, whatever you want to call it, where Killua tries to save Gon. And that's mainly for Killua's characterization. And it's huge for Killua's characterization. And it's also parting of ways and exploring, like going on our own unique journeys for like the first time. So it's not just me and you. It's not mano y mano. It's we're our own men, or we're our own, people. We're gonna go our own way and try and find our, try and do what we can in our lives at this point in time by ourselves. But again, that whole aspect of characterization is, I think, a lot easier considering the fact that you have two characters that are snuffed out to begin with, Kurapika and Leorio. Whereas in freaking Yu Hakusho, you don't have that. Yeah. Even characters like Keiko and Botan and freaking Genkai, they're well characterized throughout the entirety of the series.
I think that if it wasn't for all the hiatuses and it being so long to get where we're at now with Hunter x Hunter, it maybe not feel as bad, even though it's the same amount of chapters. We still would have got to this point quicker.
Yeah, it really is. It really is, because, it's a shame, but, he has health issues, like OD, and my advice is eat some fucking Wheaties, but apparently it's not enough. Apparently, yes.
The mangaka bastard has it worse.
Apparently he's freaking done too. Like the Japanese are just dropping like flies, man. Flies. It's like, my God, like
they literally work themselves.
Are like supposed to be like healthy. They have green tea and sushi and shit. What the fuck's happening?
They're like sneaker slaves, pretty much.
Like you have uppity dudes in American
slaves.
burgers and shit, like me, and I'm not killing over anytime fucking soon. Togashi's done. He's fucking done, man.
They're like shoe slaves, bro.
I'm 300 plus pounds, and this dude's already fucking done.
You should just have his wife draw the stuff, man.
I guess the last thing we can really do though is compare now the weakest two arcs of the weakest arc of each series.
Compare the what?
Hunter
I didn't
James.
catch that.
Hunter exam.
The weakest arc.
The weakest arc to me in Hunter x Hunter is the election arc.
Hunter.
No, I think the weakest arc is Greed Island.
No, dude. I thought
That'll,
Hunter exam.
all right, just the
Greed Island is just grand.
election arc. This the Kahlua stuff was awesome. The election itself was fucking. It's overridden and at times very boring.
Leorio's speech was boss.
There are good moments in it, but for the most part, a lot of the stuff in the election, I think it's too complicated. It's too overridden for its own good. There are some good
I
things.
like the election arc because I feel like it shows the political side of Hunter x Hunter.
But the election arc, in terms of complexity, has fucking nothing on what's happening now. Fucking nothing. Like Togashi, after his hiatus of like 2.5 years, and he starts this new journey into the Dark Continent, the complexity of some of these things is astronomical. He's like,
I think that's Togashi's main problem.
Fucking paragraphs. His entire like pages upon pages of text.
No, I know. That's actually my biggest gripe with Hunter. I think at times overwrites things and makes things too complicated than they need to be.
I mean, actually, I don't mind it at all. In fact, actually, a lot of times I find it kind of refreshing because it shows you that even among the shonen, Togashi can take it upon himself to deliver a level of complexity that we have not seen in many shonen. If any, I mean, again, Yu Hakusho does not have the level of complexity. It does not. And I mean, it is complex characterization, but the overall processes of the story are not as complex as the latter stages of Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter, yeah, the election arc, all of a sudden he starts to just dive into the deepness of the elections and of psyches and of plans and, well, he saw this coming, but he saw that coming, she saw this coming, but no. But he saw this entire thing happening, so, and then here's how it all happened in his fucking mind, and then Patterson used from the jump street because Jin said Gon won't die, it's like, what the fuck, really? And then you go on from that to, okay, well, now we're getting really fucking deep with the Dark Continent, with fucking, I don't want to spoil for you because you guys, I don't know if you guys watch it.
No, I will say when I finished the anime and I went and read the preceding chapters, the election arc didn't make more sense as to what he was trying to do. The development of Patterson and Jin. So I do get that.
Okay, all right. I mean, I don't know if it's the weakest arc though. Like the weakest.
I think I really think it's Greed Island. To me, Greed Island.
Greed Island.
I mean, yeah, I feel like
I don't know about that. I would
okay, wait. What was the arc? Okay, the Heaven's Tower.
All the arcs. I mean, think about Hunter's exam. Obviously, that's lay out the foundation of the series. You look at the Heaven's Arena. They needed to learn that, obviously. Then after that, you have the whole York New thing with the whole Kurapika thing. That obviously wasn't a weak arc at all. To me, Greed Island was the weakest out of all of them.
Honestly, actually, I probably goes. I mean, honestly, I'm really trying to put Heaven's Arena up there as the weakest one. Really, I'm not even joking.
I mean, I don't think Greed Island. I don't think Greed Island is the strongest arc, but I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. I think it's a bad arc. Togashi really flexed his creative muscles and whatnot in that arc with the whole system of Greed Island, and he also was a cool way to illustrate his love for video games in that arc.
That's one thing that you gotta realize. Like, he developed an entirely new system specifically for that arc.
Greed Island itself could have been its own series. There was enough there to make another series with it.
Greed Island, I wouldn't even consider it to be among the weak. I consider it to be among the top arcs, honestly.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and then like people in the comments said the Zoldyck family arc.
Specifically for one fucking arc.
People in the comment section said the little mini arc, the Zoldyck family arc, but I personally enjoyed that.
Oh, honestly, I forgot about it. I
didn't start enjoying Greed Island until we got to the end.
Completely really short arc.
Oh fuck, there was a Zoldyck arc. Oh shit. Oh shit, there was. Honestly, that one actually may be the weakest arc, if anything.
Yeah, we can go with that.
Because I mean, within honestly, like okay, first of all, when the fuck did it happen? I'm forgetting that shit too.
It happens right after
the Hunter exams.
the Hunter exams. When Killer gets taken away by
That happens before Heaven's Arena.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, because okay, all right, yeah. Jesus.
All right, that arc. Now I'm talking about. Okay.
I mean, okay, so that arc. Okay, so I would probably go with that arc because honestly, like that arc, it's just there as a means of bringing back Killua from his dire situation. Like, oh, like in comes Big Bro. Big Brother psychs out Killua for obvious reasons. The needle in the forehead would help, and then it's the fact that they have to go there. They train for a period of time, open fucking doors. They get kind of psyched out by some big fucking dog. And then Killua is like, okay, well, I'm going to go with Go now. I mean, it's a good step for Killua's character because it's the initial... No, wait, fuck that, no. The initial step of Killua's characterization starts in the Hunter exams.
Yeah.
It's him trying to overcome his assassin ways that first starts off in that mini Zoldyck arc. So I suppose in that sense, it would be the weakest among the arcs in Hunter x Hunter. I mean, again, the post Chimerian arc, I wouldn't go as far as say the weakest. It's not one of the best. I think it's actually mid tier. And then I'll leave it at that. I mean, Heaven's Arena, I'm hard pressed to actually put it like among the lower tier arcs as well. Seriously, not even joking. But when it comes to Yu Hakusho, I don't know.
Many will say that I don't necessarily think it's a bad arc, but many will say the Three Kings arc.
Yeah.
But you have all that characterization. It was fucking amazing. I will say the ending of the series.
I thought the first arc. You could
say
the first arc of Yu Yu Hakusho was the weakest one, to be honest.
What? The Saint Beast?
I mean, I liked it, but I'm just saying, I think it, was the weakest one, and I feel like in a sense, that's a good thing if it's the weakest one because it means that the story gets better as it goes on.
No, wait. The Saint Beast wasn't the first one. The first one was when Yusuke dies and he has to,
Yeah, he has to retrieve it.
He has to get revived, and he has to. I mean, if you want to culminate it all into like one giant arc, it's that, and then it's the introduction of Kurama's character, and then his relationship with his mother, which is unique among all demons since he has a human mother who's trying to save his relationship with that one. I forgot his name. Like this one dude who could like hulk up some big guy who got taken out. But then he has a relationship as a character, which wants to. Okay, no. The first arc is not the weakest.
I think the Yukino retrieval arc was the worst.
It's the weakest arc ever. There's no fucking way.
The Yukino retrieval arc.
Three Kings, I can see being the weakest arc only because of its. It seemed amazingly rushed. In my mind.
Yeah.
It was rushed. It was. They needed more characterization on Makuro, I feel. Well, no. She was good. I don't know. Like, there was something lacking in that arc that didn't really put up to snuff. I don't know. There's something lacking. I can't pinpoint it. There's something that was lacking, but I don't know.
No, the Yukino retrieval arc was...
Okay. Here we go. Three Kings Saga winds up turning out into like another fucking tournament. Which to me, I think was a little bit more. That could have been done better because you have these. In essence, you have these warring states, almost like the fucking goddamn like Romance of the Three Kingdoms and fucking Dynasty Warriors. You had Shu Wei Wu, you had Makuro, you had Ryzen, you had
Yomi,
and then you have these factions, and then you start off pretty good with these faction imbalances, like these powers, and then you have these armies that are at war, you have politics involved that is quintessential. So you have all these aspects that are taking place in Demon World that's on a much larger scale than they are in Human World. And instead of actually going along with these aspects of politics, of wars and battles, of territory control, of assassinations, and that kind of stuff, you say, fuck it, scrap it all, tournament, let's go. And it's like, really?
It should have been a war arc instead of a tournament arc.
Yeah, it should have been a full-blown war.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's okay, yeah. That I can actually see being like okay, yeah. So okay, fine. So based on that, I'm gonna go with Three Kings Saga. I'm not gonna. I'm thinking the initial arcs of Yu Yu Hakusho are pretty damn good, Irvin. What the fuck are you talking about?
I will say this.
I didn't say it wasn't good.
How hard we went back and forth.
I did not say. Hold on. When we're talking about the weakest arcs of these series, I'm not saying that any of these arcs are bad. Whether we're talking about Hunter x Hunter or we're talking about Yu Yu Hakusho, I'm just saying what to me seemed like the weakest one out of for now. At least I thought we were going, but I didn't think we were actually calling an arc bad per se.
Okay, fine, that's true. We're not calling it bad per se, but still, Irvin, still.
Because neither series really have bad arcs. To be quite honest, they just have they're obviously every series has a weaker arc than others.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, we can debate on which one is, yeah, we can really debate on which one
the Yukina retrieval arc that was the weakest.
Which one?
Oh, when they go to
Yukina retrieval arc. Yukina?
Oh, was that the one with the
I count all that stuff in the Spirit Detective
bugs? Like those demon bug things?
Yeah.
Dude, that's when fucking Toguro is introduced to the story, bro. The fuck? No.
I include all that in the same arc. The Spirit Detective.
Ah, man. Toguro is one of the best shonen villains, period.
Yeah, Toguro is dope. Yeah, he really is.
Ah, man. Ah, dude. Toguro. He kicked that dude's fucking head off, man. Are you serious? And then it's characterization for Kuwabara, Yukina, and it's a huge leap in Hiei's character. Astronomical. The fire demon who was born, who was ostracized by his fucking family. He was thrown off a fucking floating island. They said, fuck you. And then he still had that, pendant that his, I think his mom gave him or some shit like that. And then, it introduces that whole aspect of Hiei's character, which is quintessential. So...
Yeah, he had like his mother's tear or something? Or...
Yeah. Some shit like that, mother's tear, right. Like, they shed only once when they're pregnant. Yukina being tortured, but they were fake. Like the jewels were, of high quality. And then she tried to find hope in, animals, which wound up getting killed anyway by this fucking dude. And then it shows the relationship. And then it's also very important because it does foreshadow what Shinobu Sensui feared, how you have these rich, wealthy humans who have, trillions of fucking dollars. And they're taking upon themselves to torture, to mutilate, to utilize demons for their own, disgusting and vile purposes. So... the arc even does have that aspect as well, which is very important. So that arc, no, I would honestly go with the Three Kings. Three Kings, I think, is the weakest arc.
Yeah, I'd say the Three Kings too.
And the Three Kings.
Even the fact that we will never know Raizen's full power, when that can easily be fixed with a flashback, is a problem. And that's one of the biggest problems in Yu Yu Hakusho, that everyone scratches their head constantly about, Prime Raizen.
I think it's okay to leave that little as a mystery. I mean, I think it's okay to have.
That one, I'm not too sure because folks have complained about that. I'm like, I don't really know. Like, would it make a big difference if we found out his powers or not?
I've heard a lot of people like that irks them.
You know what? Okay, I'll give you the one on the Three Kings. I mean, although I enjoyed the Three Kings arc a lot, I'll give you that.
I wasn't here's the thing. My thing is that the Three Kings saga, if it was standalone by itself, it's not a bad arc. It's not a bad arc at all. In fact, the arc is pretty decent. It's the fact that you already have a tournament arc in Yu Yu Hakusho that beats the shit out of Three Kings. That's my problem.
Yeah.
You have the potential for a pretty damn good war arc, and instead you sacrifice the war arc. And honestly, you sacrifice this whole this decent passing on lineage thing where so instead of Raizen being the top guy in Demon World, Yusuke trains to become that guy, some shit like that. Instead of having that tournament, we're gonna scrap it all for a fucking tournament. And you already have the Dark Tournament, which honestly is fantastic. It's too good of a tournament arc. Arguably the best shonen tournament arc I've seen. To have a follow-up tournament arc at the end of the series, Three Kings Saga. Nah.
So, we're we're comparing the Three Kings arc with what with Hunter x Hunter?
I guess the Killer thing.
Yeah, the Zoldyck
family arc.
Well, then I'm giving it to. I think the Three Kings arc was better than.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Yeah, I agree too.
Because the Killer family arc is very forgettable. It gets lost in the shuffle.
Oh God, it's just.
He didn't even know it existed.
I mean, but the thing is, I kind of count. I mean, if we're counting that as its own arc, all right, that's fine. But I know I kind of counted that sort of still part of the Hunter's exam. At least I thought it was.
Nah. I will say the best part of the Hunter exams was Tampa, man. Tampa's a beast. Tampa is GOAT, man.
Oh God.
Tampa. So let's run through everything again. So we have the power system. What is everybody saying is better?
What do we say is better? Hunter x Hunter.
I would. The power system. I'll go Hunter x Hunter.
I'm going with Hunter x Hunter. So is the majority saying Hunter x Hunter?
Really.
All right, and then the next thing we talked about, what was that?
Characterization.
Characterization. Okay, so
Hakusho.
I'm giving it to YuYu Hakusho on that one.
Yeah.
Strongest arcs compared to weakest arcs. I mean, strongest arcs comparison, weakest arcs comparison, strongest arc comparison. I don't know where we land with that one. I mean, even I'm not too sure. Weakest arc, I know I'd go with YuYu Hakusho over Hunter x Hunter. Strongest arc, I don't know, because the strongest arc for me, I'm not even sure which one that is in YuYu Hakusho. I think.
You know what? I'm gonna give Hunter x Hunter that with the Chimera Ant. I mean, Chimera Ant to me just had a lot of different stuff that I loved about it, and I thought that the way it was laid out as far as you had the whole death with Kite, and the way they progressed going as a character. You even had the whole Netero thing, and they even brought back elements from the first arc with when you had Netero fight against Meruem, and how basically he remember how in the Hunter's exam how at the very end they had to basically make their opponent give up. It wasn't about killing their opponent, and you see that they brought that back with the whole Meruem and Netero fight. That pretty much he had to make Netero give up in order to tell him his name. Now obviously we know what happened to Netero, but that was how the fight was being laid out. And not only that, but then you had like a lot of moments. Like one of my favorite moments in there is
Honestly,
when Welfen had to think deep within his mind to be able to remember and spit out Kamugi's name. Stuff like that. I feel like just as a whole, and then you had the what's the name of the octopus?
Yukaku? You know what his name is?
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think his name is
Kilaga or whatever.
Yeah, like I like. I mean, you had that whole thing between him and Killua. As far as becoming friends. So I don't know. I'm not saying it's like that arc is better by a lot when I think about, like, let's say Chapter Black, but I feel like there was more to it than Chapter Black had. I mean, Chapter Black had one element to it that made it great, but I feel like the Chimera Ant arc had multiple elements that made it great. So that's why I give that one to Chimera Ant in the strongest.
Yeah, that one, I'm just gonna stay neutral because I'm not too sure, because I'm still trying to sort out which one is the best arc among YuYu Hakusho. So I can't even really gauge that one. So that one I'm stuck pretty much.
Anyone else?
Just comparing Chapter Black to Chimera, I'm gonna give it to Chimera Ant. Although the villain I think is better in Chapter Black, I think though the complexity of Chimera Ant and what Gon goes through compared to what Yusuke was a better experience for me, and Chimera Ant was more an emotional experience for me too.
Late in the game into the Chimera Ant arc, I don't even consider Meruem a villain. I consider what's his name, Poof, to be the villain of the arc.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I really don't consider Meruem a villain per se either. I consider him an antagonist. Or part of a time, but I don't consider him a full-out villain, as opposed to like Sentry. That's why I say like the villain in as far as Sentry is better than Meruem.
Yeah, definitely.
Poof was just jealous because Meruem wanted that Kamugi.
And Weakest arc, we're giving it to
YuYu Hakusho easily.
Okay. And let's see here. I'm trying to tally this all up.
World building.
Hunter x Hunter.
World building. I think we can all agree Hunter x Hunter has better world building.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, so world building for Hunter x Hunter. Power system went to Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
Strongest arc. That was Hunter x Hunter that we did it. Strongest arc was Hunter x Hunter.
Strongest arc was Hunter x Hunter. Weakest arc was Yu Yu Hakusho. Or okay, the strongest of the strongest arcs, Hunter x Hunter. The stronger of the weakest arcs, Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah.
Okay. So we need something else then to kind of break this, I think, because I think we have 4 different things if I counted it right.
There's nothing on me.
I'm tired, so.
The music, Hunter x Hunter.
The music.
Animation and animation obviously Hunter x Hunter wins because it's just a newer series. Duh.
Okay, animation I feel like isn't fair, to be honest, because I mean they.
Of course it's not fair. I'm trying to say here.
Hey, the opening. Who has the better opening? Who has the better opening? Do we want you opening 3 or Hunter x Hunter opening 5? Which is better?
Yo, man. Yeah, that's good.
Is it really
basically what had better? What's as a series based on where Hunter x Hunter stands right now, and based on obviously Yu Yu Hakusho happening. What do you feel like as a whole does a better job of giving shock to its readers? They're not readers, watchers.
What kind of category is that?
Well, I'm thinking as far as you have this includes transformation, fights, deaths. What do you feel like keeps you on your toes more?
Hunter x Hunter.
Hunter x Hunter, actually, yeah.
Because you have so much more to expect.
So I feel like we have to give it to Hunter x Hunter then.
The only reason why I'm saying that, okay, fine. If you're talking about from a shock value perspective, yeah, I'll go with Hunter x Hunter. And the only reason why is because one of the main reasons why is because Genkai come back to life was iffy. It was very iffy. I was like, what the fuck? Genkai. The fuck you doing, bitch? So you died. So, I mean, that one, that's the only reason why.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like we might as well just give it to Hunter x Hunter from a better writing standpoint, because I feel like it covered more categories in terms of what it can do. I mean, yes, Yu Yu Hakusho has better characterization with the main cast and the villains themselves, but then all the other areas, I feel like Hunter x Hunter trumps it.
Yeah.
It seems like everyone else agrees except for, I know you don't agree with the power standpoint, King. But I mean, I feel like the other ones are.
I mean, I agree. It's just that for me, it's more or less there may be future factors in the series that could conflict with this, so I'm not too sure. That's why I said in the future, probably Hunter x Hunter would win. But for the sake of this argument, yeah, I'll go with Hunter x Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we pretty much have a winner then.
Yay!
I mean, this was probably. We need to have another battle on video where we're all going at it, because I feel like we all were sort of on a similar page.
Nothing ain't going down.
All the ones though, since I've ever come in, are kind of all agree. We're
Goku versus Superman. Let's do that.
Wait, what is that?
I said Goku versus Superman.
No.
Hey, I don't mind doing that. I will debate on the side of
Because
Goku.
you can be on Goku's side.
I'll be on Goku's side.
Oh, man. That would be funny.
But hold on, if we're going to do that, we need to... Hold on, hey. No Superman Prime. We have to debate version.
Look at that shit. You have to Superman in order to fucking have your Goku win. That's insane.
No, I'm saying I want to pick a version of Superman I would say pick the mainstream version or something, because I can debate. If we're just talking about mainstream Superman, I can debate it. If we're talking about Prime, I will admit that obviously Goku gets taken out by Superman Prime. But if we're talking about mainstream, yeah, I think Goku can do it. I can go with a good argument for that. But you know what?
Superman Prime 1 million. It's fucking done. Over.
You can't even put him up against Flash.
There's not many characters in existence that can beat Superman Prime, though.
You can't even put him against Flash. Wait, Tenchi probably.
I feel like Superman Prime is not fair. So. He's just not.
Yeah.
He really isn't.
Yeah. Let's just get this Gundam thing rolling.
Do you guys have? Does anybody have the list up before we end this?
Yeah, let's do this Gundam thing, bro.
I said let's let Luffy and King do their Gundam fight.
I'm ready to stomp this nigga.
And go at it. And just
tear it. You guys want to do that next call? Like do the Gundam fight? I mean, I can't really say too much because I'm not caught up with either one.
That's what I'm trying to say here. Like unless because it was cool when it was a three-way. It was me, Luffy, and Uber. Uber's nowhere in fucking sight. So basically it's gonna be a 1-1 debate.
No, true.
Unless I
don't need a marathon.
I have a good amount of Gundam knowledge.
We need to have a really good aggressive debate. We haven't had one of those in a while.
What's the next matchup then?
I mean, we can do Geofreed versus Naruto if you guys want to do that.
What?
Yo, what's Geofreed with Shin? Geofreed with Shin in Final 0?
How strong do you think Naruto is? We can
Naruto is not
so freed.
Naruto is barely continent level. At best.
He's barely fucking large country.
Didn't they say he's like moon level in the last movie?
What said that?
What?
In the last movie?
The moon's still there. Remember, there's a final scene. Naruto, Hinata kissing.
Hey, don't spoil nothing. Do not spoil nothing, okay?
Too late.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Too late.
I don't want to know nothing about what happens at the end of that movie. I hear you into this. No. Like, no spoiler scenes. If you see something, know something, I'm telling everybody, do not say anything to me because I'm looking forward to that movie. So,
moon level. Fuck.
I am a starved Naruto fan. I haven't gotten Naruto in months.
Alright,
He's gonna know withdrawal syndromes.
Where are the continents?
Yeah.
There are no continents in Naruto. Oh no, there is. But
he said there's no continents in Naruto.
I mean, okay, think about it for a second. The entire battleground of the Naruto verse of the Frozen Ninja War was the forest country, or the flower country, whichever country it was. Fuck it. Well, one of the smaller of the countries, not even one of the bigger, one of the smaller of the countries.
No, the Fourth Great Ninja War took place mostly in the Lightning. I think the Land of Lightning.
No.
Oh wait.
That's where it started at.
No. When Madara uproots like all those like giant Earth fucking meteorite things.
It may have ended over there, but I'm saying it started over in the Lightning country.
Okay,
I know that's what it's at.
Fair enough. But that okay, fine. So I'm talking about specifically the ending part. The ending portions of this fight take place mainly in that particular section of the continent or whatever, because basically the entire Naruto series is in one giant continent. And then you have, I think when they're fighting in the Valley of the End, like Naruto and Sasuke have their final clash where they create like a giant fucking storm that encompasses like that entire continent. But creating a fucking storm that maybe covers the entire continent would not say that they would destroy the entire continent. Something else entirely different. It's right. It's not Toriko. It's not Toriko. Calm the fuck down. Right?
That's what we should
do. Alright, let's do
No.
Toriko versus Saiyan Saga Goku.
Fuck, that was happening. Alright, I was. Yes, we should do that. Or you want to do someone, because Toriko, we don't know where he really... I have an idea where he lies at this point in time, but I honestly want to do Ichiryu. I think Ichiryu would be a lot... No, it's not fair.
I wouldn't say...
No, because it's not fair for fucking Goku at that point now.
What about Lubach versus the dude with the strings in Hellsing Ultimate?
Who?
Who's the dude with the strings in Hellsing?
Shit.
Oh, the Butler guy from Hellsing Ultimate.
Yeah, versus Lubach from Kame Ga Kill.
Oh, I don't know about that. Wait, okay, that's OP as fuck.
Oh, okay, I can dig that.
That would be interesting, though. That would be.
That would be actually really
interesting, though.
I gotta rewatch Hellsing. I forgot what it is.
There was this one part when he ran out of string, but that was.
We should put Kaneki in something.
I want when Parasite. I need to read a little. I would need to read a little bit more, but I would say Kaneki versus Shinichi.
That would be interesting.
I want to do Kaneki versus Shinichi. I mean, wait, wouldn't Kaneki destroy him?
Shinichi
Yeah,
from
actually, I would like that. That does sound like a good one. I need to read up on finish reading Tokyo Ghoul. Then let's do that one.
Walter. That's what his name is. Walter versus Lubach.
I actually like the idea of Shinichi
Ultimate.
versus Kaneki.
Whatever. I mean, okay, because I remember when I started doing my verses, a lot of folks want me to do Estes versus Aokiji. I was like, oh fuck, like what?
Wait, Estes versus who?
Aokiji from One Piece.
Aokiji?
Yeah.
Aokiji wins that one. I'll say that.
Yeah, I'll say that too immediately.
Yeah, he would win.
Okay. But I mean, okay. So I do like Lubba
versus Estes.
I do like Lubba versus Walter. I think that one's actually because I think that one's okay, pretty good. Because I think Walter's actually more powerful come the end of the series. I'm forgetting though. I need to rewatch Hellsing Ultimate, but I can do that easy because it's only 10 episodes. What about the other one we were talking about before?
Kaneki versus Shinichi?
Yeah, Kaneki versus Shinichi.
I'm down for that one.
I like that one.
All right, fuck it. It's on the list.
Like,
that
one's giving me chills right now because I'm already loving Parasite right now. So I'm like, oh man. I love it. Yeah.
But Shinichi, Shinichi.
Team Shinichi. So yeah, I think we picked everything that we're gonna do for right now. So the next one, exactly. Which one are we making? Are we making it the Lubach versus who was it?
Walter from Hellsing Ultimate.
All right, I need to watch Hellsing Ultimate. I mean, I've seen a little bit of it, but I've never finished it. So, So,
Walter from Hellsing Ultimate.
Yeah.
Against who?
Lubach.
Oh, okay.
Lubba, whatever his name is.
Lubach?
I think I may be okay. Again, I forget how powerful Walter becomes at the end of Hellsing Ultimate, but we'll have to wait and see about that one. And then we have Shinichi versus Kaneki. And I mean, if you want to do Goku, Saiyan Saga Goku versus Toriko, we can do that. I suppose.
I'm just trying to think of things we can actually go at it about. That won't be like an all, So we could also still do the Pokemon versus Digimon, but it'll be all of us against Irvin.
You guys, so what order are we doing this? Cause what are we doing it in 2 weeks? As usual.
Yeah, 2 weeks, but.
So which one are we doing first?
Irvin, do you still want to do that one?
I feel like, honestly, yeah, Digimon probably are stronger, but I like Pokemon. All right, I like both of them, but I like Pokemon.
Why are you biased, bro?
Oh my god, bro.
I know. That's why I'm like, I'm not even gonna try it because there's not. And the reason why I feel like it another reason why Digimon aren't there more Digimon than there are Pokemon? I think.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So there's one that I think would be very interesting. Now, I don't know if you guys read this manga called Akumetsu. What about the main character from Akumetsu versus L?
Nah, you know what I want to do? Actually, no. I want to do...
Oh, wait, wait, a lot of folks want us to talk about fucking...
The Kirby versus Boo.
Yeah!
Yo,
that shit was biased as fuck.
Wait, you want to talk about it right now, or do you want to make a video about it?
No. Okay, now, here's the thing. Kirby does have a lot of similar powers than Boo. He honestly does, but Boo has far more DC than Kirby.
I give it to Boo. Yeah. To me, it's like, okay,
Kirby could absorb Boo a lot faster than Boo could absorb Kirby, though. I'll give him that. But Boo would speed with the fuck out of Kirby.
I think Boo has faster reactions, though. That's the thing.
Wait, I thought Kirby was speaking light speed.
And Boo has better
Warp Star, maybe, yeah. But I mean, that's pretty much. But think about it, he has to get on the Warp Star.
I cannot think of one single anime manga character that has more hatch regeneration than Boo. Boo, in essence, cannot be destroyed. He just gets either he can come back from vapor, or he gets reincarnated. He cannot really be destroyed.
Well, I mean, okay, listen. They did bring up the beautiful fact that fucking Boo got killed by Goku, or he got destroyed by Goku.
Technically, he did though because he just got reincarnated into Oob.
Because what's his face? The dude in the Afterworld. Oh, I forgot his name. The big guy, Yama, whatever his name is. He reincarnated Boo into Oob. That was a request.
That wasn't part of his powers. That like.
I don't believe so. I honestly believe that reincarnation was done on that Yama's end, like where he said, "Okay, fine." So
I thought it was part of his.
Since I dictate souls, I can just make Goku's request into a reality because Goku's saved the fucking universe, like or the world, God knows how many times. So I mean, listen, like to me, like I just don't know enough about fucking Kirby, like. I mean, like, when they showed Kirby throwing a frying pan to the fucking sun and back, I was like, what the fuck? The fact that Kirby punched a freaking planet in half, that's the size of the planet, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, listen, like, I'm not seeing Boo punch planets in half. I just ain't. I mean, yeah, Boo can destroy more shit, but when it comes to the fight, it depends on the whole host of powers.
What about the human extinction?
Apparently Kirby has a fucking infinite pocket dimension in his fucking gut.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
He does have the power of the stars and shit, which I'm kind of fuzzy on, but those stars are pretty OP. The stars are borderline reality warping powers.
I mean, like, come on now. Like, if he can literally, I mean, when he goes into like some, I don't know, like some Mario Kart star form, and then he fucking like sucks in like all that shit, and I'm like, can he do that? And beforehand they said yeah, because when he's in that form, he has some infinite pocket dimension. So it doesn't matter how much Blue can blow up. It wouldn't matter if Blue can blow up a fucking galaxy. He could literally suck that shit in. And Blue can't do that. So it's kind of like, bro, from a destructive power standpoint, yes, Boo beats out Kirby. But from every other standpoint, it looked like Kirby beat the shit out of Boo. Boo's not throwing fucking frying pans that are pretty damn big to the sun and back. It's not happening with Boo. And they also.
But my question is like.
Wait. They also mentioned the fact that apparently Kirby took an explosion that would destroy a planet without a fucking scratch. Without a scratch, Boo, when he blows up a planet, he has to reform. And I'm like, fuck. So that means that Kirby has already, like, planetary durability. Dude.
Maybe Kirby should fight the one above all.
Fuck it.
So,
yeah.
My thing is like, what can Kirby, you know, because I like Kirby a lot, actually, but what can Kirby do to actually take, like, let's say, a chocolate bean?
Oh, by the way, someone wants to do a Don Flamingo versus Byakukuchi fight.
Don Flamingo versus.
It's not bad.
No, that wouldn't pan out.
Okay.
That wouldn't work.
All right, either way. All right, so what are you saying before about Kirby?
I was saying I don't understand what Kirby could actually do to if he got hit with the chocolate bean or candy bean.
Chocolate bean? I mean, that's a possibility. It would work. It would work on Kirby. I don't see why.
They never really dived into that. I feel like when you talk about Kirby and his speed, it's like Kirby has to hop onto the warp star for him to even be able to move it so well. I never see him move at that speed unless it was for travel purposes.
At will. Apparently, he used that thing to transverse fucking space and go to.
No, it's like a space. The warp star.
But again, anytime Kirby's done that, it's always usually been for travel purposes. I never seen him actually utilize that in a fight.
I don't know.
Never played Super Smash Bros.
Yeah, I feel like if we're going by. If you're talking about for Super Smash, you still have to hop on it. It's not. He can't just. It doesn't. It takes time to do that, and you just obviously can't just.
Okay, hold on. But I guess here's the thing you have to realize: when Kirby is on it, you can easily perceive what's around him at light speed.
Okay.
Which means that he has light speed reaction.
So my question is, how is he gonna? I mean, just because he can move at light speed, is that if Boo, you can't really. How can you destroy Boo though? Because even if you were to suck out Boo, Boo could easily rip out.
Which he did.
He doesn't have light speed reaction. The ship itself is the warp star is just a spaceship. The ship itself is light speed capable, yes, but that doesn't mean Kirby himself has light speed.
No, wait, hold on. But if he's able to actually like fight while he's on that star, then he can. He's fighting at light speed then.
I don't
Like,
think he does.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know.
He does
Like,
though. I don't remember. I don't think he does fight in the warp star. The warp star is basically.
No, I'm not Kirby deep, son. I don't fucking know.
I don't think he does. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yo, Kirby. That shit was funny when I saw him. Like, yeah, Kirby.
we'll
Does he just hold on to it, or does he actually fight while he's on it?
Pissed. People were like, I mean, Superman and Goku like level pissed. I'm like, oh, here we, and it wasn't even a DC. It was fucking Kirby. I mean, it was almost as if like it was their attempt at just shitting on more DBZ characters. Like, yo, DBZ.
No, in a sense it was because they didn't give him any Super Boo forms, which is a disadvantage to Kid Buu because for the simple fact that as Super Boo, especially as Buhan, he has far better intelligence to strategize and whatnot. And that
but in order for him to be Buhan, he has to suck up Gohan and freaking Piccolo.
Yeah, but to not give him access to Super Boo, that limits his intelligence greatly.
Kirby versus Thanos.
And I think
I see what you're saying, but here's the thing. Okay, actually, hold on a second. I'm trying to think here. Kirby was able to suck up like other fucking like things and shit.
Yeah,
in fact,
Kirby can absorb the second
Kirby the whole fucking advantage.
And Kirby can also absorb things far easier than Buu can.
Of course he can. Buu has to like assimilate, and it takes fucking time, whatever. Kirby can suck him in that point in time and put him in a fucking pocket dimension. But then Buu can break out, and then Kirby can. I mean, here's the main thing. I think from a base standpoint, when you're not including fucking like Gohan and Piccolo absorptions, where you're not including like Kirby absorbing like swords and other shit, in essence, Kirby has planetary level durability by himself. He has strength that far supersedes anything Boo's ever seen. He has this insane infinite like pocket dimension in his fucking gut that he can utilize at will. So he can essentially suck and return anything that Buu gives at him. Furthermore, you have, and again, I don't know this ship and the light speed. I don't know, man. But apparently, it's light speed. He uses it to fucking fight. I don't know. But if that's the case or not, if he can, Buu isn't fucking with light speed dudes. He's just not. He has never fucked with light speed dudes. He's utilized intertransmission before a few times in order to like escape or to warp to a certain location, but to actually fight and react at light speeds seems beyond Buu. Seriously, never seen that shit. And then finally, it's the fact that Kirby, I don't know what that like Super Mario Star Form thing was, if that was called. But apparently he already had in his gut. Like does he have that shit? Like,
oh, you talking about the Hyperbole Kirby?
Yeah, I don't know. Just some shit.
Oh, yeah, I played that game. I have that game, so I know. I mean, actually, at least on the game. So I was kind of surprised that they had that just in him, because on the game, it's like grows off of a tree. He has to like suck it up.
So it's not normally in him.
No.
All right. So wait, hold on. But what does that Kirby do? The highball Kirby, whatever.
Almost all of Kirby's offensive powers come from him eating other things.
Or Hypernova, that's what it is. Hypernova Kirby or whatever.
Yeah, what is it? Hypernova.
Kirby's base powers is his shape-shifting abilities and his ability to absorb others. So like Kirby can actually like make himself into a rock and smash down on you, stuff like that.
Yeah. And then he can absorb the powers of people.
Right.
So I'm asking you, what the fuck is this hyperbole thing? What is that?
I don't remember I don't remember the aspects of everything. I just know he has stronger sucking power, and he can pretty much suck up anything.
That's pretty much
that warp star is OP though.
I mean, couldn't it? Wait. Is Kirby's sucking power limited?
They even said that on the video that when he's just base Kirby has limited sucking power.
King, hold on.
He has limited sucking power.
Yeah, when he's base.
And he can only absorb one power at a time.
But when he's hyperball, whatever.
Anything
infinite.
goes.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, I don't know about this hyperball thing, but if he can access that thing like he did at fucking will, oh, then it's absolutely over. He fucks with Majin Buu at that point in time. He just fucks with the dude. If he can't, okay, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Because that's the only way I can see him actually sucking in that giant, massive key ball that Buu made. I mean, that's why I assumed that when they had it in him, he could just access that shit whenever he wanted.
He actually can. He actually can suck that up. He can suck up anything when he's like that. You know.
Fuck it, then. That he's winning. Like he's winning easy. Easy. If he can access that mode at will, easy.
It just seems that every time Screw Attack does anything with Dragon Ball Z, the rage comes.
In fact, I don't even think he can get knocked out of that form like that, can he?
Well, I mean, okay. Here's my thing. Like, when I remember Screw Attack back in the day, they did a Vegeta versus fucking Shadow. Vegeta beat the shit out of Shadow. And the Sonic fanboy and the Sonic fanboys were pissed. Like, what the fuck is this? This like, Shadow fucking Hedgehog, man. What the fuck is this shit? I mean, I'm just saying, like, Screw Attack, the only reason why I feel like they have so much weight is because they have their shit, like, animated. Or, like, whatever. Like, they have actual visual, like, fights, which makes it more appealing, which makes it more, like, believable. In actuality, when you break it down from, like, a statistical standpoint, odds are not going to be the case. I mean, again, yeah, the fact that they gave Kirby the home field advantage, and the fact that they nerfed out, okay, so we're going to give Kirby his power-ups, all of them, essentially, but we're not going to give freaking Buu the ability to absorb Gohan and Piccolo. But then again, at the same time, can he do that, like, mid-combat? Like, would Kirby just sit there and let him absorb fucking Gohan and Buu? I don't know.
But I feel like but then the same case could have been made when they had the whole Hypernova Kirby. It's like, okay, where is a tree going to be growing with that on there? Where he can just go.
That's what I'm saying. Like in the freaking video, he already had the shit in him. So I don't know.
Kirby's just shitting on DBZ characters like it's nothing.
Like I said, Kirby versus Thanos. Let's go. Kirby eats the Infinity Stones. Done deal.
I mean, I did hear that they were gonna do like a Superman versus Goku like revisited. I did hear about it. I heard that, but I'm not too sure. I don't know, maybe.
But if they're gonna do that, at least wait for like the Frieza movie to come out. That's what I would say.
Listen, no one from DBZ is beating Soups.
No one can beat.
Well, okay, we gotta have that debate. We have to do that debate.
Wait, override. Luffy, you know Ray, right? The J Room.
Yeah.
He actually told me that the new 52 Superman would probably lose to Goku. Super Saiyan God Goku. The new 52 Superman.
How strong is this dude?
He doesn't have the feats to compare to actually. He doesn't actually have the feats to go with Super Saiyan God Goku. That's what he told me. I was like, oh wow. And he's a huge like encyclopedia of DC and comics and stuff.
No one ain't taking out my dude the Flash. Not Barry Allen. Not Wally.
Flash not even fair.
Dude, all you do is bring up fucking like Sonic, like the old Archie comic Sonic. Over. Done.
Oh, you think the RG Sonic can beat any other Flashes?
Dude, the RJ Sonic is. Have you seen his fucking feats? His feats make no damn sense. Ability of omniscient reality warping just through running alone is disgusting. I've never seen that kind of. No. He's too powerful.
So that Sonic is really bad, basically.
That Sonic is really bad. Really.
I think that's the most powerful version of Sonic.
That's by far. But listen, though.
You don't think you can take on Wally?
I mean, to wrap it all up. Even if you do give Buu his powers to absorb Gohan and Piccolo, and then you give him like a obviously smarter, more intelligent, I still think Kirby fucking wins.
Gonna throw a frying pan at him.
He has too much strength. He has too much speed. He has too much durability that supersedes Buu. On those base powers alone, he beats out Buu. Then the abilities in themselves. Once he goes hyper mode, whatever, fucking Kirby, Twilight Kirby, he's insane. He's infinite sucking powers, man.
Start throwing warp stars.
No. I mean, okay, and here's the thing you have to realize too. When Boo's in that form, when he's more intelligent, I guess he's also a little more cocky too. Because when he was taking on Vegito, he seemed pretty fucking cocky. Yeah, Vegito.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So either way, I mean, that's what I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna say, because I'm not a Kirby fucking wizard. I don't know that much about Kirby. I don't LARP Kirby, but fuck it. Like, from what I saw, it looked like Kirby really had like Boo beat from a physical standpoint on speed, durability, and on strength, and also he had him beat on an ability standpoint. Because Boo can make all the key balls he wants to. He can try and make as many lightning energy waves to turn Kirby into candy. Based on the statistics, on speed alone, he's not touching Kirby. And he can still suck up his powers anyway. So, again, when you have a pocket dimension in your stomach, that fucking helps a lot, man. Helps a lot.
I'm still baffled. So wait, RG Sonic can beat any version of the Flash?
Dude, look him up. I'm not.
I've heard that too.
That Sonic
I want to do something with Kingdom Hearts. That'd be cool to do. Like I want to do
Xehanort.
Xehanort versus
the next debate.
Let's do Xehanort versus Madara will get the shit beat out of him by Xehanort.
What's the next debate then?
Wasn't it Lubach versus Walter or something?
Okay, that's the next one.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
All right, so we know what we have then. Lubach versus Walter. Then we have
Lubach.
Yo, Sora versus Naruto.
Shinichi versus Kaneki, and then after that, it's going to be. I think we should do Goku versus Superman.
Oh my God, bro. Oh my God, bro.
Please.
Let's do a single Final Fantasy mage versus Naruto verse.
What the fuck is that?
Over. It's over. You know how hacked Final Fantasy Magic is?
No, bro. Hold on.
No, dude, I don't know.
You don't. Yeah. You can stop time.
I don't think so.
Fucking Ultima done.
Let's do Mickey Mouse versus Sasuke.
Alright, chill.
Mickey Mouse versus Mickey Mouse.
Chill.
Oh, yeah, we need to do Goku versus Superman as the last one.
What? No, let's do RG Sonic versus.
Goku versus Superman Urban. It's gonna be everyone against you.
I don't care. I'm ready for it.
No, you're not.
No.
I'll be ready for it. But hold on.
You're
You
not.
guys have to pick one version to go with, though. That's the only thing.
That is fair. No, that's the whole
Superman Prime 1 million. Done.
No, it can't be Super. It cannot be Superman.
No,
Prime.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, really?
Wait,
I want to choose like the best version possible.
Technically,
Because Superman Prime is not fair. To me, he's
all those Supermans beforehand don't matter.
The fact that we gotta choose a fair version of Superman, that in of itself is a clear indicator that Stoops beat the shit out of Goku.
Hold on. I know you're trying to say that, but then think about it. There's only you can count GT as like a second version of Goku or something.
It wouldn't fucking matter if it's GT Goku.
Alright, if Urban wants to get the shit beat out of him, New 52 Superman versus Goku.
Oh my.
No, dude. No, bro.
And
can you like pull planets and shit?
Wait, what about Estes versus Dio? What about Estes versus Dio?
Dio wins.
Not too sure about that one.
Dio beats Goku.
Dio can't beat Goku. He can't hurt Goku.
Yeah, he can.
No, he can't. He can top it off in time, but he can't do anything. It's only temporary. He can't spam it, and he can't do anything to kill Goku.
Later on, he can.
Are we really debating Dio versus Goku?
We can do that shit.
Dio can't kill.
Oh, Goku all the way, man. Goku all the way.
He can freeze him in time temporarily, but he can't do anything to kill him.
We can do Dio.
Well,
let's debate that one then. Okay, that'd be the last one.
Dio could throw knives.
Do you think a knife really gonna hurt? Do you think Dio has enough strength to throw a knife?
I mean,
Goku?
listen.
Jotaro has the ability to punch through fucking diamond. All right, with his star planet. Dio's the world is compared with the Jotaro's star planet. Dio can literally rip out Goku's eyes.
In Jotaro, and by the end of everything, Jotaro doesn't have a time limit for his time stop. He can just do it for as long as he wants to.
Pretty much.
Then that means S-Death can kill Madara.
S-Death has a time limit, though.
So does Dio.
Huh?
No.
He can't like permanently spam. This is what Manu told me. He can't like permanently spam.
It takes energy, but Dio's, as far as I know, Dio can do so for a much greater time than S-Death. S-Death can do it for a few seconds. Dio can do it for like, I forgot how many. No, he can do it for a much longer time. I forgot though. It was much longer. I need to go back to that damn story. I mean, no, he can't stop the world permanently. No, he can't. No, but it's long enough to get the fucking job done.
Yeah. Plus, S-Death can only do that once a day.
Yeah, Dio can just whenever the world like freeze.
Gerudo.
And then Dio's not even the strongest JoJo's. You ever do that can like rewrite the fucking like universe, like bring back time to the fucking beginning?
Yeah, but Shiraz told me that takes a lot of fucking prep. Like he can't just like instantly do that. It takes a lot of prep to do that.
Yeah, it does.
What, for the time stop?
No, for the rewrite, the reset.
Oh, you're talking about Giorno and Enrico Pucci.
Yeah, fucking Enrico Pucci.
Yo, if you play Weather Report,
Enrico Pucci. Fuck, man, this guy's OP as fuck. All right, but listen. So, okay, Irvin, listen. I want you to really reconsider doing soups against Goku. It's not gonna pan out well for you. It's just not.
I know. The viewers want to see it, and I want to do it. So let's do it.
Yeah, why don't we just put some slam dunk characters versus some Kuroko basket characters?
Slam dunk, no.
Aomine versus Goku. Ankle break. Ankle break.
Why stop there? Let's do Godzilla versus Small.
You know the new chapter for Kuroko basket came out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna read that. I'm gonna review that shit tomorrow.
That was insulting.
And I heard that there's some racist shit going on. Leave those spoil me. I swear to God, I'm gonna kill you if you spoil me.
That shit was insulting as fuck.
Hey, but listen, guys, I'm about to head on out, man. I'm exhausted.
All right, same here.
All right, see you, Irvin.
You're not exhausted enough to think that. Go.
I'm gonna stop slacking on my channel. I'm gonna start putting up more stuff soon.
So get some rest and think about the Goku versus Superman once you're fully rested.
Yeah, once you're sane.
Reconsider, please.
I won't reconsider. I'll take that challenge. How?
Listen. Just reconsider. How about this?
I will debate it to the ends of the earth.
We'll do Hero YuYu versus.
But on the real level, I don't know. For some reason, the one I can't look for. I mean, I'm looking forward to the most though is the Shinichi versus Kaneki fight. So
yeah, I actually look forward to that one. That sounds really good.
Yeah,
I'm halfway done with the Tokyo Ghoul manga, and then I'll just read ahead on the Parasite. So I kind of want to.
Oh wait, you're gonna read it? Because I'm just gonna watch it.
I mean, I think we have. That's the thing about. That's the only problem with that fight is that we have to either wait for the anime to finish to fully get the full power of Shinichi, or we can browse the Wikipedia page.
Yeah, we could do that too.
And spoil ourselves. Ugh.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that many.
Why don't we go buy the anime versions of both then, if that works?
Okay, we can.
Yeah.
Tokyo Ghouls.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, the anime version. We can actually specify that we're talking about the anime version of Kaneki and the anime version of Shinichi. That way, nobody gets mad if, let's say, somebody has some uber powerful ability that maybe one of us doesn't know about or some of us don't know about. So,
just reconsider the Goku versus Superman, please.
No, I will not reconsider.
Listen, bro, we can put like Domo and Kashu versus Hero YuYu or something like that in its replacement. We don't need Goku versus Superman. Come on.
Oh, Domo and Kashu, man, that's one of my favorite characters in any anime actually. But
I just got done rewatching G Gundam.
Yeah, I love G Gundam, my favorite Gundam series. But
I still like the Shining Gundam over the Burning Gundam. I will say that.
Oh no, it's all about the burning finger.
I thought
Hands are not burning red.
Yo, I need
Loud
to go.
roar tells me to grasp
I need to
victory.
go. I'm gonna head the fuck out. So I'll see
All
y'all
right,
later.
bye, guys. Later.
All right, see you.
Yeah.
So we wrapping this up? All right, do the outro, Irvin.